Hey everybody, this is Bernadet from European Life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very, very happy to do this podcast because I can tell you that I'm doing this podcast from Dubai. And I wanted to go to Dubai because everybody knows Dubai have so many trade shows and so many interesting trade shows. So there is always a lot to see, a lot to do. So I had to make choices, really. I really have to find out, am I going in September? Am I going in March? And this week I really had some appointments with interesting companies we like to work with, but also one of our partners, of course, Dubai International Boat Show. And so I thought, let's see what I can do in that week, because it was very important that I was there. Now, Dubai International Boat Show is a very big and important boat show in Dubai, but that same week there was also World Art Dubai. Now, I have to confess that that's also because, I love art. And I thought it was a great combination. So we also had some different meetings, and in that week I could also because if I have a trade show where it's about tech or where it's about transport like cars, planes, boats, I always take an event journalist just because they bring something different to the table. Now this week I could not only get an event journalist, but that same event journalist was also my private driver, and that's very special. That's a good week. So I thought this should be the week. So thank you, Jesse, to make it happening for me in Dubai. Now, about Dubai International Boat Show, I have to say that it's, of course, a harbor. Everybody can figure out something about Dubai. So you have the skyline, the big buildings, the waterfronts, the harbors, and the whole view is a great stage for any kind of business. There is something to do every day. There are lots of companies there, and to be honest, I felt really that it is the place to be. If you want to do any kind of business, go to Dubai. They are very open to work with us. Now, I understand, of course, the name of my company is European Life, and companies from Dubai are always eager to go to the Europe market, and that's both ways. By the way, it's also Europeans are really love to go to Dubai. So a great stage. And when I came there, the whole boat show is next to one of the beautiful skylines there. It's not only a skyline with the high buildings, but also a way a landings strip where planes can fly in. That whole view, always good. If you want to present yourself saying, hey, our brand was on Dubai International Boat Show, take that view with you because that sells, believe me. Now, when we came there, I'm sorry, I have to call Rebecca, who's the event director, because I thought, like every trade show, it starts like 10, 11 in the morning. It was not. And it didn't go open until 3 o'clock. So, if you go to the Dubai International Boat Show, please check the times that it's open because 3 o'clock for us in Europe is kind of late. But, that's the way it is. There's something with every boat show. I always check, what's kind of special, what's different. Of course, we had the big boats there. We had the whole international sunny vibe you want to have in a boat show. But what I also liked that in this boat show, I thought also different topics that might be a good fit for the industry. And with the industry, I mean, not only boating, but actually luxury lifestyle. So it's basically also a kind of lifestyle trade show. I saw fashion, I saw jewelry, art, so cars. And I like that mix. I really did like that mix. So because of that, you can spend a lot of time there, just sit around, have some drinks, and go see some other interesting brands in this visit. But basically, the big brands were there, and it was great to be there. Now, one of the things I think is different in Dubai International Boat Show than a lot of other boat shows I've been is that for the International Boat Show in Dubai, they have VIP areas, VIP tickets, and also the media together is a group who have a lot of possibilities to meet other people. They have a beautiful VIP lounge, a VIP area. I sat there for a while because it was great to see how people sit together, do business. It's a meeting point. Um, you, of course, had all the possibilities to get your drinks, to get your coffee or tea, to get your tapas. And I think that made, for me, Dubai International Boat Show also a great meeting point for business. And that's a plus, I think. So if you are in some kind of business that is a really good fit with luxury industry, you should go there because there are many, many people, exhibitors, but also visitors that might be interesting to talk to introduce yourself. So that was a big plus for me. Um, when I After a while, I mean, when I checked out to do some research for this podcast, I saw that they had 30,000 visitors, which is quite nice. They had 800 plus brands and 150 boats, which is not the biggest boat show, but certainly a very interesting boat show, not only in Dubai but also in the Middle East. I can imagine that it might be the biggest one in the Middle East. I'm not sure about it, so maybe somebody can check that out for me. So as I said, there are different brands on the Dubai International Boat Show. For in boat industry, of course, I saw Sunseekers, which is on most of the boat shows I go. They are there, and they are big and impressive. It's a great brand. But one of the ones I was very surprised with was Lamborghini. Lamborghini, now it shows that they also have boats. It's not that much. It's a very limited edition. It's called Technomar by Lamborghini, and it was um, kind of surprising to see a boat which is, in your eyes, definitely a clone of a car. Same colors, same steering wheel. And it's called Technomar by Lamborghini 63, and that's because there are only 63 boat made of this brand. Now you can imagine that that's very unique, and probably for the rich and famous, a good reason to buy one. Because not only the brand, but also because you are one of the 63 people who can have that boat. So that was a very surprising exhibitor. Now, the other one I want to mention, of course, there was a lot about zero emission, about carbon neutral, of course, but one of the one I think stood out was silent yachting. And silent yachting is actually a product from EV Lab, which means Electric Vehicle Lab. And they have a yacht all made on some power. And it was a beautiful, beautiful art. I was so impressed with it that I invited them to have a podcast with me next week. So it's a silent yachting is a yacht which tell us that they are actually the first multi-brand vehicle platform, and their yacht is really unique. It's carbon neutral, it's zero emission, electric propulsing, and there were a lot of questions I have, and so that's why I wanted to meet with them next week and get you some more answers of that boating. First of all, I always think I understand that you can have a boat made with sustainability, like very important. But how about batteries? I cannot believe that you only have solar power, because How about if you're going to a polar area where, the sun is going down at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and mostly it's not even there the whole day? Or you're on sea, and that solar power is not working. So what are you going to do? Now, this company is really professional, and I'm sure they can give all the answers. But I want to sit down with it and talk to them about it. But I think it's very interesting. They can give the answers. So I was very impressed with them, and I like to hear more about them. So there were a lot of cars as well, and they had a lot of art. And one of the things I thought was fun, but that's kind of my own favorite, was Deep Dive Dubai. They have like a 60-meter deep swimming pool for scuba diving, and it was 40 million liters of water. That's amazing, actually. I don't know if there is another one in the world who is in that industry with that deep of a pool. I probably have to find that out, but I was very impressed with that as well. Now, again, I think the Dubai International Boat Show is very well organized. Does a lot for their exhibitors in the way of promotion. So you're going to be seen if you want to be on that trade show. You're going to be seen, and I think the size of the boat show is just good to find the right people to talk to do your business, to see if you can connect in any way. It was a great day. And I did enjoy also the water sport, the entertainment. They were music, they were on the water, so I really like that. But most of all, if you are going to have any idea to do any business in Dubai, and maybe you should have a visit in Dubai International Boat Show. So to have the right context, to be honest, I really want to thank the team we work with. We are partners of Dubai International Boat Show, and they helped us a lot to get to the right people. So thank you all for doing that. Now, another trade show I was going was World Art Dubai, and I don't have to tell you that, that was my happy day. And I really liked it. It's actually organized by the same kind of organization, and they're all in the World Trade Center in Dubai. And what I liked about it is that the space they have is really big. It's a very joy to walk there. They are having all kind of booths who are all the same. Maybe one is a little bit bigger than the other one, but more or less they are the same. And it's very peaceful to walk between these stands, these spaces. They fill up with the art. It was very light and bright, and to be honest, I loved it. I'm completely honest with it. Sometimes you have a show who have another kind of interior, and that makes it completely different atmosphere. One of the examples I can call is Pan Amsterdam, which is, I have to admit, more about antique and jewelry, but their stands are mostly black. You go in there, you really have to go in there. I thought it was much more narrow to walk there, and that's a whole different story. World Art Dubai is huge, a lot of space, a lot of white, a lot of colors, and I really liked it. I saw some of the brands were very, very present there. One of the countries I saw, and I spent a lot of time, was Japan. I have to get into that. Japan is, first of all, I love their art, but second, I don't know if I can say it, they're kind of a little bit happy crazy. Yeah, that's the kind of combination, happy crazy. They are dressed up, they have very colorful art, and they know how to approach. I have to say something maybe some of you can learn from. I saw a lot of stands where people was just sitting in the corner watching their phone, and even if I was standing in front of them making a picture, they didn't even look up. And I thought, that's not good. That's not good. Now, with the World Art Show, it's not just about regular art, it's also about an experience. Yeah, that's what I want to call it. First of all, they have different activities to do art yourself. For example, they have some workshops, but also they have the theme like street art. And then there are in that area, there are people really young street artists making art in that moment. So I was standing there. They are amazing. I remember when I was young, long time ago. But when I was young, if you had a graffiti, it was just like your neighbor boys, spreading some paint on the wall. It was mostly ugly and annoying. But what we seen here is a complete different story. It's so beautiful, and it's amazing to see. So that whole show was also very impressive. By the way, if I'm going to back to Dubai, where I also saw wall art or street art, it was always very beautiful. It was never, the graffiti you see on trains. No, it was butterflies and beautiful people, and yeah, that makes it like happy street art. I really liked it. So street art also was a part of it. They also had a sort of runway where people can show their art. I really liked it. You can just sit around it, and then there's somebody calling a artist to have their favorite painting going around to people, and you can see art there. And I think that's a great experience because then they tell a little bit about that painting, and you know a little bit about the artist, and I really like that about it. So that was well done, World Art. And as I told you before, I love great presentations. I mean, professional presentations. So there are a few I want to call to say, and they are really my favorite. One I really liked was Almir Reis. Almir Reis. And Almir is from Sao Paulo. And what I liked about him, he was there. He was there. It's a beautiful, beautiful stand. His art is very impressive. He's kind of um, he's influenced by Andy Warhol, David Hockney. You see the swimming pools, you see the beautiful boys swimming, diving, running, playing football. But his art stood out. I came to a lot of art that day, and I saw there, and there it was. And what I liked was that he was there. He has a beautiful brochure to present his art, and I really appreciate that. He had a card what I can pick. So Almi Rice is very. I was very impressed with him. Well, he's probably one of the great artists around the world. His CV of exhibitions is ridiculously long. Germany, Paris, Tokyo, Buenos Aires, Lima, Washington, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, and I find him in Dubai. His art is very big, and I think it stood out, and I really enjoyed talking to him. So thank you so much, Almir, talking to me as well. Yeah, anybody try to find him on internet, Almir Rice, and if you go to his Instagram, it's Almir Reis Arte. Arte. So he's of course Spain. So it's Almir Reis Arte. Find him because you will enjoy his art. Now, another one I was very impressed with too was actually an agency, an art gallery. It's Aiden Art Space, and he actually had some artists there in his stand. And I thought that they really like to present their artists. The way he presented his artists with proud and knowing a lot about it, that was very impressive to me too. And the reason also was he was actually from Seychelles, and I hope that I say this right because I don't say that in Dutch, but in English I think it's Seychelles. And he really stood out. He talked about that place with a lot of pride. He talked about the history of some artists. He told me about Family Adams, who had a certain art with many colors in a technique I've never seen before. So that was impressive. And he right away took a book out and say, hey, this is the family Adams. You should, look up a little bit more about them. So that was very impressive to me. And one of the other artists I really enjoyed was Zoe Chong Sang. She was a painter, and she actually paints about normal life. I saw a lot of people in the street, and for example, women with a baby on their arm, men coming back from a day of fishing, having their buckets on their arms and walking on the street. But the reason why I thought it was so good, first of all, it was technical, very well made. But the other hand was that when I'm looking at these paintings in the street and see these people, just walking slowly, and I pretend it's slowly. I don't know that, but when I see it, it's like that very peaceful um, walking around in the street. And you can see on that painting that it was very hot. It's like a hot day. People are doing what they should do, but it's peaceful. And only looking at these paintings was a joy for me. So her name again is Zoe Chong Seng, and she is from Seychelles, and she's a painter, and they are all promoted by Eden Art Space. So look it up. I was very impressed with them. Now, one of my personal favorites, actually, and that was also colorful, but she's a mixed media artist. Now, I do something with mixed media too, but I have to say that's more like Saturday morning amateur kind of thing. But I'm always impressed with great mixed media artists, and her name is Dr. Shumaila Ahmed. And she the way she paint is that you recognize the city, you recognize a village, you recognize the streets, but then it's made kind of abstract with kind of blocks, color blocks, and all over these paint. I see crayons, I see kind of stamps, but the color itself is really thought through. It's not just doing something. It's really a picture that is a whole, that it fits, that yeah, is in balance with all the colors on that canvas. So yeah, I was really, really impressed. So look her up as well. Dr. Shumaila Ahmed, that's her name. So, everybody, I cannot say how much I enjoyed Dubai. It's a crazy, to me, city. It looked very new, out of the desert, business focused, but very clean, very new. And I thought it was a great city to do business in. And it's very interesting for all of you in any way to make sure that you're going to be on the market in Dubai. They're very eager to work with you. They're very easy also to approach. And I have to say, I was talking to another company where I hope I can work with. They are want to do something in Europe. And I said, one thing I like about Dubai is they always answer their emails, and I like it. If you send an email, you get it back within 48 hours. That's completely different in the south of Europe. I have to say, I'm sorry, but if you want to do business and you are very ambitious, you like to talk to them, make an appointment, get the materials over. We are in media, so we have deadlines. Love to do business with Dubai, really. So Dubai, thank you so much for this week. I think I will be back. I don't know how, or when, but I definitely think I will be back. I want to thank Jane. I want to thank Rebecca to helping me with getting the right contacts on Dubai International Boatshow, on the Art Dubai. And of course, I want to thank my private driver that, I could go around in Dubai so easily and completely safe. So very important for me. So everybody, if you want to see more and hear more, keep focusing, because there will be articles in our new magazine coming up in the beginning of April. Check them out, and probably you recognize them from this podcast. I will have them in my magazine. And on the other hand, we have some podcasts coming up. Silent Yachting will be in our podcast next week, but I probably will keep in touch with some of the brands and some of the people I talked to you about today, and you will hear from me more. So anybody, if you have more questions, wanna add something to the story, like to collaborate with us from Dubai, from Europe, wait until I'm gonna tell you how you can reach us and reach me, and let's talk. So for now, thank you so much from beautiful Dubai. I wish you all a great weekend, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for listening today. Please subscribe and share this podcast. Do you have a question or a story to share? Please find us at podcast@EuropeanLifeMedia.com.